firstly, I'd like to ask about the planned tribute to Ukraine or the show of solidarity at Northampton with the kit colours on Saturday. How important do you think that is?
Yeah, very important. Obviously, we're not politicians. That's the first thing I'll say now. It's difficult because you've got to be careful that you say the right things. But ultimately, I think as a human being, you're distraught at what's going on at the minute. It's beyond sad, isn't it? So it's nice that as fellow human beings we can show our solidarity in that. I'm not a politician, as I say, but as a human being, it's you don't have to turn TV on or listen to the radio or newspapers or whatever. It's horrific. It's terrible.
And it's absolutely further evidence, isn't it, for Tranmere's collective ethos as such a compassionate club that this show of solidarity is being made. Yeah,
and I hope a lot of people get, or everybody gets, what they need out of it. That's the important thing, and that's why obviously why we're doing it, is to show people that we care and we think that it's wrong.
Absolutely. And looking back to on the pitch now, after the Newport game, you said that the side didn't really get going. Did the players acknowledge that afterwards?
Yeah, it's not just the players, it's me. I take my share in responsibility. Absolutely, I want to be part of them. We, on the day, didn't do enough to stamp the way that we wanted to play on that game. We never showed the personality that was necessary for ourselves to make the impact that was needed on that game. And we let ourselves down and we let the fans down. There's no doubt about that. But we have drawn a line under it, which you need to do. You've asked me the question, so I haven't spoken to you since the game, so I need to answer it. But we addressed it very early in the week. We spoke about where we didn't perform well enough, and we have worked forward from there to get back to the version of ourselves that has got us into such a fantastic position for Saturday.
You've effectively answered my next question, really, about how much of your analysis has been about finding the reasons behind that. But what was it easy to find the reasons behind it?
Well, they're human beings, so it's not always easy, but we know when we're at our best, we know what we're good at, and we just didn't do that on Saturday. We just didn't show the personality, and it is personality. It is your own personality as a part of our team to bring about the things that make us the team that we are. We didn't do enough of that in enough positions on Saturday to give ourselves, we always say, the best chance of winning a game. But to be fair, it hasn't been often that's happened. So we recognise that. We understand the situation what we are in the league. We've done brilliant to get here. Now we want to get back quickly to what we do well and go and keep going towards for the next game.
And just on a important moment in the game as well, of course, there's been talk of another penalty incident for a Merseyside club, of course, this week. And I know there's no VAR in League Two, of course, but have you had an explanation from the referee for the foul that led to the penalty when it was clearly outside the box?
No, you wouldn't get that. They wouldn't do that. We would like them to, because they're big decisions, we'd like them to come back and possibly tell us why that happened. They acknowledge they're human beings and they will make mistakes, but sometimes, yeah, it would be nice just for them to come out and say, like, we very rarely get it here, I made a mistake there. But no, that didn't happen. But you sometimes just have to accept that as part of the game. Don't go for something that's never been there. And that's that sort of cooperation between yourself and the referees. And sadly, and I mean sadly, because I think there should be better cooperation, you'll just have to accept that now, and you'll have to move on and say that making mistakes as a referee is part of the game. That's the way it is.
And You mentioned about character after the game as well. How important is it for the players to show character in times like this when it isn't going as well as it has done over the last few months?
Character's always important. Always important. Character in life is important. Like I said, you've got to show personality, you've got to show character. These guys are footballers. If they don't play at the level that they play at, if they haven't got character, they haven't got that get up again and go or keep going or keep improving. You need character to be able to do that. So they've got that. But like I said, they're human beings. Sometimes you get individuals or a whole team at the same time forget what makes them a good player. But we get back on it very quickly and we remind them of that, and we're hoping for the best version of ourselves again at the weekend.
And just before we look forward, Micky, what do you think in particular has contributed to the recent defeats, and what then do you need to do to get back on the right track?
Just get back to what we do well. No big drama. Just as a collective, do the things that we do well as a team. Defend well, attack well, and show the quality within that. And then the psychological qualities in and around that. Let's get back to that again. There's no big dramas. We know what makes us a good team. So just you bring yourself to the game on Saturday and make sure that you bring that to the performance, and we'll be more than fine.
And looking at Saturday, Northampton themselves, they're winless in 3 games as well. Even with 12 games to go this season, can this be described as a promotion 6-pointer, do you feel?
You can see now with the results, the way they go, how tense this stage of the season is, and why we were so distraught that people didn't value the last 12 games of the season when they demoted us. You can see what happens now. So it really is ridiculous now when you think back to that now, that with 12 games to go now, who is guaranteed anything? Because you see what happens now with the results. So that's why we were so angry at the time of how flippantly people believed that that's the way that the season would go. You're coming into a really difficult time now. Everybody's really fighting and scrapping, and the games are going to go a certain way, where a lot of people desperate for results. So you have to find a way of playing that type of football under intense pressure, which is always there, because you know the value of every game. Like you said on Saturday, it's another massive 3 points for both football clubs. So we'll be ready for that, and we'll go and fight for the valuable 3 points, and we'll hopefully be triumphant at the end.
And even if you look at Forest Green as well, they're winless in 4 games as well, being in first place. So it does emphasise just how tough it's going to be until May, doesn't it?
It's a tough time of the season, it really is, for a whole host of reasons. Pitches changing, environment changing, everybody's sort of still fighting for different prizes, whether that be relegation, playoffs, or winning the leagues, or promotion, whatever. So it's a real heads down time of the season where everybody's just giving it everything they've got. So it always is. So you just got to make sure that you come out on the right end of that.
I'd like to ask you, Micky, that, well, Mark Paliossi has done an interview recently talking about the club's transfer policy. He mentioned the links with Liverpool and Everton as well, of course. And Lewis Warrington was mentioned, and he said there were several things that could impact on whether you looked to move for him after his loan deal. Is a permanent move for Lewis something that you think is possible, and it's something that you'd like to consider in the summer?
It really is, for a whole host of reasons, something that I wouldn't want to talk about. He's Everton's player. And until Emd indicates that that's going to change, then it's just a nothing conversation. Lewis has done brilliant here. They love having him here. And we will keep working with him, and he'll keep improving here. That's the main thing. But I think that I don't understand why you want to ask that question, but it really is for a different time, I think.
No worries, Micky. And just any knocks to update on the latest on the lads that are out at the moment?
Yeah, Paul's coming back into the group. He'll train with us tomorrow. So Galaxy will be back. He's had a good week's training. So he comes back into the group. Jay Spearing is back on the grass and running and joining in some passing drills. So he's moving ahead as well. Apart from the long-term injured boys that are still injured, we're certainly moving back towards a full strength group for the important part of the season, Chris.
Cheers, Micky. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Micky. How you doing, mate?
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I just before I get into any questions, I just want to say that I truly am living under the Micky Mellon mentality right now, because the supporters club were nice enough to send me a load of posters with your face on them.
And put them around that bedroom of yours and tidy it up a little bit. So that
this is what I mean. Every morning I wake up, I see your face. I'm like, yeah, it's time to be clean and productive today.
Well, when you see my framed picture on the wall next to your bed there, you know that I'm
exactly that.
Not watching everything. I must stress that I'm watching of your bedroom and making sure that it's in a right place.
I assure you that it is today, and it will be for the foreseeable, thanks to you.
Sometimes you want to turn the picture around to face the wall, and at other times when you think it's important to have a look at the bedroom, you can turn me around to face the state of that bedroom of yours.
Okay, I will bear that in mind going forward, and I'll make sure to turn your face away when it is appropriate. Yeah. Right. Getting back into some football-related questions.
Yeah.
Lots have been made of the away form this season. What do you think's been the reason behind that?
Well, you'd have to say that we have lost. Is it the last 3 away games we've lost? So that's clearly not something that you could even suggest as the way that we want to go. So we have to do better away from home. Quite simply like that. We have to do better. I think it's about moments in the games, and I think we just have to get more of them right. And I try and always keep it simple and honest, and it is about that. So we will go into Saturday looking at it as an opportunity to turn around our away form and hopefully start it moving in the right direction. That's all you can do.
Does it make it harder at all, knowing that Northampton are one of the very few pool of teams to have won at Prenton Park earlier in the season?
No, not really, because the games will be different. You know, it won't change anything. It'll be a tough game. It's a game, both teams at the right end of the table, an important stage of the season. So you know that it'll be a really tough game. So you're going to with the right mentality, you should be fine.
And that mentality has been a staple of the squad this season. And how hard is it to sort of keep up with that mentality when results aren't going the right way?
I don't know. I wouldn't think it would be difficult, because in football you have to move on and you only have to look forward. You learn from what's just happened, but it's important that you look forward, learning from what's happened before, and you're going to attack the game and try to show the improvements. So we only look at the next game with optimism, and we want to go into it and go and try and win. So we only look at it with that. We don't carry anything forward. We only look optimistically at the game and believe that it's a great opportunity for us to try and go and get a result.
I suppose this question is going to have quite a similar answer to Chris's regarding Lewis Warrington back then, but we've just spoken to Ross Doohan. Having such a quality goalkeeper, obviously he's a big part of the starting lineup, and he's in on loan. Does that cause any kind of headaches looking forward to next season, or is it just a question that you're just not going to think about until after the campaign's finished?
The only thing I'm wondering about at the minute is it's my wife and my daughter's birthday, and so after training today, which was very good, I'm going to make sure that we do that properly. So questions like what's going to happen next season couldn't be further away from my mind, to be perfectly honest with you. I've got a lot to negotiate this evening. I've got to get that right. So tactically, I better be ready for my daughter and my wife's birthday tonight, because if I get that wrong, there will be no next season for me. So I better concentrate on the now and enjoy the now. And then when that comes, the decisions have to be made about next season. Honestly, and not try to dodge your question, I will deal with that when it comes along.